Hello and a very warm welcome to Supporters Club Live, a show exclusively for the largest official supporters clubs that represent Chelsea Football Club all around the world. My name is Lee Parker and I'm honoured to say that I'll be your host here today, and what a show we have to look forward to. It will feature Chelsea's record signing as our headline guest, fresh from representing Belgium on international duty, the one and only Romelu Lukaku. He'll be joining us in around about 20 minutes time, I think. Well, we have some other great content lined up for you in the meantime and some other special guests as well. First up, we will be speaking to a man you can see on screen with me now, the marketing lead here at Chelsea, John Scammell. He will be followed by Chelsea's global head of fan engagement, Adam Field. After this, we will be joined by the main man himself, who will be answering your questions that you've been submitting over the past few days. Well, you, the official supporters club's members all around the world, have been sending in those questions, and we have been picking out the very best ones to be answered later in this show. If you haven't yet submitted a question, or you would still like to do so, then please do leave it as a YouTube comment, and it may well be chosen to be asked live here on air. Even if you don't have a question, please do not worry. Just make sure you're getting as involved as you possibly can through that comment section. We would love to know which supporters clubs are watching tonight, so let us know where in the world you are. We'd also encourage you to share your reaction as well if you can. Please let us know how excited you are and what you are hoping to find out from tonight's show. Okay, without further ado, let me introduce our very first guest, shall I? He has been waiting very patiently, as I'm sure you can see. He is John Scammell. You may well have seen or even met John in the past. He is the marketing lead here at Chelsea and has been working at the club for, I think, around 10 years. He'll correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure. Well, John has previously had lots of interaction with these supporters clubs, and in his current position as global fan experience lead, he creates world-leading international fan activations for all of our fantastic supporters. Please give a very warm welcome to John Scammell. John, thank you for your patience, my friend. First up, how are you? How are things?
Well, thanks for that introduction, Lee. Things are fantastic. Really excited to be here. As you mentioned, I have been here for 10 years. So in Chelsea terms, that's 2 Champions Leagues, 2 Premier Leagues, multiple domestic cups as well. So I think you're probably the only person at Chelsea with a better record than that, Lee.
Far too kind. Far too kind. How are things from the perspective of the marketing team at the moment, John?
Things are really great. Thank you. Last year was fantastic for us, both on the pitch for the men's and women's teams, but also off it too, with the launch of so many great marketing initiatives. We're super excited to be back up and running again this season, and even more excited to see the fans back in the stadium. We are aware, of course, that there is such a huge pent-up demand from fans across the world for more in-person experiences. And aside from having fans back in the stadium, we're gearing up for some really exciting international events and other fan experiences around the world that we haven't been able to deliver, unfortunately, because of the pandemic. So first off, we're looking to take the Champions League trophy to our fans in the US this autumn. We'd love to also get back out to India, Southeast Asia, China, and many more of our kind of big markets as well, as soon as the travel restrictions lift.
Exciting times. Well, as you know, John, the audience for this live show are, of course, the fantastic members from the official supporters clubs. What's the reason that these clubs receive this type of benefit? And tell us a bit more about what you've got planned to deliver to these clubs for the remainder of this season.
Well, we launched the Supporters Club Live series last season, initially in response to us not being able to deliver our planned legend experiences in the different international markets we plan to visit. But we received such great feedback that we thought, why not do it again? And we're so pleased to kick it off with Romelu Lukaku today. We will also deliver legend visits this year to our New York Blues Supporters Club and Mizo in India. And we're also exploring a number of other exclusive awards for our supporters clubs this season too. I know Charlie, who a number of the members will know, is busy working behind the scenes on some great new merchandise packs. We're also exploring new pitch presentations, common visits, and a really exciting end of season moment that will offer supporters club members a chance to play at Stamford Bridge. We're also working hard to hero some of the fantastic work that our supporters clubs do around the world. So already last season, we launched Certified Chelsea in India, which offers fans in India the chance to appear on a live show on national TV. We also often feature supporters clubs on our US podcast and across all of our local channels globally. We have also begun to feature supporters clubs across global social channels too, with a recent takeover of the club's global Instagram channel for the Zenit game. You may have seen Jenna from Atlanta Blues share her matchday experience at that match, and we'll be reaching out to other clubs in the next couple of weeks to try and give them an opportunity to tell their story as well from wherever they are in the world.
Awesome stuff. Thanks for the plug for the podcast as well. Loving every minute of that. Can you tell us a bit more about why the supporters clubs are such a huge focus for Chelsea Football Club?
We absolutely love supporters clubs. What's most amazing for me is to see the friendships and the communities that they forge. Our supporters clubs really foster that sense of community. They give fans all around the world the chance to experience what it feels to belong to something kind of much larger than themselves, and that is so important. As you mentioned earlier in the introduction, I've been lucky enough to meet a huge number of supporters clubs all around the world, whether pre-season tour, trophy tours, legend visits, or at the stadium as well whenever they visit Stamford Bridge. And I'm always absolutely blown away by their passion, knowledge and dedication to the club. For the recent Champions League match, Champions League final, should I say, we had a number of supporters clubs lighting up buildings around the world, hosting large-scale viewing parties, and even a few of them doing their own open-top victory parades as well. I have to also mention some of the fantastic charity work that the clubs do in their local communities. One recently launched a campaign to adopt a marginalised child and now help them financially for football training and education, whilst other clubs do blood donations. We see a number of other fundraising initiatives as well, all in the great name of Chelsea. So they do such a great job, and I'm so pleased to be able to get closer to them and support their work.
And what a job you're doing. John, it's been a real pleasure. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. Thanks, Lee. And a huge thanks to all the supporters clubs and everybody tuning in today. It really kind of does inspire us all here, and we kind of love everything that you do and continue to support what you do. And we're so grateful for the support that we get back in return too.
Thanks once again to the brilliant John Scammell. Next up here on Supporters Club Live, we have Adam Field joining us. Now, Adam is Chelsea's global head of fan engagement and is responsible for growing the club's global fan base, delivering the global brand marketing strategy, engaging with new audiences, and owning the full fan experience. Adam, it's quite a role. Thank you so much for your time. How are you, my friend?
I'm good, Lee. Thanks for inviting me on to be part of this session.
Always a pleasure. Tell us a bit about your role at Chelsea, Adam, and how long you've been with us.
Absolutely. So I've been at the club for just over 4 years now. And as you mentioned, a big part of the job and the job of my team is to look at ways that we can continue to grow our fan base around the world, and then exciting ways that we can then engage with those fans, particularly through digital experiences, but then more importantly, anything that we can do on the ground in the markets that we love to travel to so often. Sometimes that's around the finals of competitions, sometimes that's pre-season tours, and other times that's just us coming into the market to interact and engage with our supporters clubs throughout the season.
You touched on it there, Adam. I guess this role does give you that opportunity to meet so many fans from these supporters clubs, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And we've been lucky enough in my team and myself to travel over the years and to meet a lot of the clubs, a lot of the secretaries and a lot of the fans within those clubs. And it's just amazing to be able to interact and hear from those fans who, in some instances, some of them have got English heritage and they've just moved to different countries. Others have got affiliations with the clubs, even though they might be in markets like Singapore, New York, in China. So we absolutely love to interact with the fans when we get the chance to travel.
So many fantastic supporters groups all around the world, and this is the first Supporters Club Live, of course, since Chelsea won the Champions League final back in May. John spoke earlier actually about how some of the clubs around the world celebrated. However, can you, I guess, give us a bit more insight on that time from your perspective, from inside the club?
Sure. I mean, as you can imagine, the time building up to that final is just crazy exciting. There's always an anticipation about the game itself. And so there was loads of plans that we were putting in place. We had lots of great ideas of things that we wanted to do. So one of the things that we were desperate to do was to try and reunite as many of the players from 2012 and bring them together and talk about that experience and try and see if we could create that moment of magic between that era and the 2021 team. And then also what many fans would have seen is the big drone light show we did above the stadium at the end of the game. And that was something that we'd worked on for quite a few weeks in anticipation of winning it. So there was just lots of momentum, huge amounts of buzz. And actually on the evening of the game afterwards, so many people would have seen the fans gathering outside Stamford Bridge. And so I was there. So was a few of the team were there. At the end, we couldn't leave the stadium. It was that busy of fans just congregating around Chelsea. And it took us hours to get even just outside of the perimeter of the stadium. But I think that really demonstrated the beauty of football and the passion of our fan base, and just what that energy was like, not only for us internally, but just for our fans.
Amazing night. What a night. You touched on it earlier, Adam. Can you give us an overview of some of, I guess, the key marketing activations that you and the team are carrying out across some of the different international markets?
Sure. We have quite a varied and broad range of things we do. In the US, we launched about 18 months ago a podcast, which obviously you're now the face, one of the faces of the new season, which is doing incredibly well. We are often ranked as the number one sports podcast from a football club. So it's an amazing project that we've developed over time in the US. In China, we do an amazing live show on one of the biggest platforms in the market. It's called Weibo. And we put a lot of our focus on interacting with our fans through that live show that we do. In places like India, we have amazing relationships with ambassadors like Arjun Kapoor, and we do a lot of content around Arjun and being a fan of the club. So anywhere that you look around the world in those key big markets, we have a huge projects that we are heavily invested in, we care passionately about, and we will continue to develop to engage with our fans.
Very well said. With that in mind then, Adam, with travel restrictions as we see sort of easing almost all over the world, what are the plans then to get back into the market in the near future?
Well, thankfully, those restrictions are starting to lift day after day. We're hearing new restrictions lifting. And so with the US that we've just had announced, Singapore, which we've also just found out about recently, we are now plotting our visits into the market. So a lot of the guys on this call will know John quite well and Charlie as well, who's part of our team. Along with myself and a few others, we will be making our way into some of our key markets really soon. Some of those trips will be with the trophies to help extend that celebration with fans that couldn't necessarily be with us either in Porto or at Stamford Bridge. And others will just allow us a chance to come back into the market, interact with our fans, hopefully engage with them through workshops and meetings that will allow us to learn a little bit more about what's been going on in the market since we've last visited. And then, as most fans will know, as we start thinking about next year in terms of 2022 and potentially pre-seasons, we will obviously try our hardest and keep on our fingers crossed that we will be able to travel somewhere for a pre-season tour. And that will also give us a great opportunity to get into the market. So lots in the plans. Watch this space. A lot will be revealed soon.
Exciting times. Adam, it's been a real pleasure. Thank you so much for your time, my friend. Really appreciate it. A quick reminder that there is still time for you to submit your questions to Romelu Lukaku via the comment section on this YouTube live stream. So please make sure you're doing that if you have anything to ask our big number 9. And here is a special look at the man himself back when he arrived at Chelsea's training ground again for the first time since returning.
Hi guys, this is Romelu. I'm glad to be back. It's been a long 10 years, but I'm finally back. So I'm going to take you around Cobham, see if I still recognize the same spots. Yeah, it's changed a lot because, back in the day, there was a wall here and there wasn't as many material as there was now. It looks much more professional as well, but it was always been good, but like now it's more material. And yeah, you can see that, the club is growing, it's keeping improving and stuff. So yeah, it looks really professional, and I can't wait to get started. I was really nervous when they put me in the changing room the first time. And yeah, it was different. I remember I came in and Didier was sitting down. And I came in and I was like, hello. It was the funniest thing. And everybody was laughing. And yeah, we just, created a bond ever since then. Yeah, a good memory, man. A lot of personalities, but for me, it was a great learning school because, you know, when you're 18, and obviously you come into a big club, you have to set a standard for yourself. And, you know, that's where I learned about nutrition and other things that could help my game. So for me, I used that time. I used that time to learn as a player and to see what it took to get to that level and what it takes. So, you know, in the last 10 years, you know, whatever I learned here or whatever I saw here, I just took it around my journey. And yeah, in the end, you know, it made me the player that I am today. My boots aren't here yet. I have my boots with me, but I probably have the biggest size of them. I have a size 14, which is very difficult to find in the stores. If you see all those trophies that they won in the last, since I've left, it shows that the club has always been hungry and stuff. And you know, I think the players now, they know what it takes to win because they won 2 trophies in the last 6 months. And for me as a player, I just trying to add what they have now with the game that I play. So I think we're gonna gel well, and you know, I'm ready to help the team for sure.
And here is the man himself, the one and only Romelu Lukaku. How are you, my friend? It's great to see you.
Good to see you too. I'm fine. How are you?
Good, back very well, thank you. How was international break and how's the fitness?
Fitness was on good. International break, well, could have been better. It's been a long time since we lost 2 ice in a row, but I think now is also a time for us as a national team to reflect and to know what went wrong, and going from there. We have a year to prepare the World Cup, so let's just learn from those defeats and try to improve and do better in our teams, and so we can perform better as a team. But it's good to be back.
It's good to have you back. Yeah, from a selfish perspective, it's good to have you back and fit. I mean, there's so many big games to look forward to in the coming weeks and months.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm very happy. I was very happy to be back with the team, and we are really excited. We had a good training session this morning, and then tomorrow is going to be all about Brentford. How we're going to try and get a good result to remain on top.
It's from the Capital City Blues over in the USA, and he says, Romelu, how big a decision was it for you to come back to Chelsea?
It was fairly a big decision because obviously I was good. I had a good situation in Inter Milan where we just won the league, and the team is basically trying to do back-to-back league titles and stuff. But from my personal expectations and also like the emotional side, I thought this is a chance that I wanted my whole life. And for me, to get that opportunity to come and play for Chelsea was an opportunity that I couldn't let slide. So I had a little moment of reflection, but in the end, I was really happy with my decision. And as a team now to be here and trying to help the team improve and trying to win more titles is a great thing.
Absolutely. So good to have you back, my friend. Next question comes from Anshuman Shankar from the Chennai Official Supporters Club. And he says, it's no secret just how hyped all of us fans are at your return and what we hope to see from you in the future. Personally, what goals do you want to achieve as a Chelsea player in your second stint with the club?
No, personally, I'm just one day at a time. I just try to go in every training session to try to get the best of myself, try to be as competitive as I am, and in the weekend trying to get a good result and score goals in the end. And win games, because that's what we want as a team. We want to win, and we want to just trying to be dominant in the way how we play. So right now we're doing well. We're top of the league. In the Champions League we're second right now, I think.
Yeah. So
we won against Southampton against Aston Villa in the League Cup. So it's good to be in the mix, and we have to try to compete in every competition that we are in. So, and we have a very good squad. So one day at a time. So right now I'm just focused on Brentford and then the next game.
Absolutely, it's such a competitive Premier League this year, isn't it?
Yeah, very competitive to what I was used to when I was here for many years. But it's good because it raises your level. If you make a mistake, that the other teams behind you can catch you. So, the good thing is, we in the Premier League, every game is a difficult game. So you cannot go in a game playing at 80% or 90%. You really have to go full out. So this is the thing that I like about this league. And, as a football player, it only makes you better.
Absolutely. Very well said. Next question comes from Richard Osai. And Richard is from the Atibi Kwahu Official Supporters Club over in Ghana. And Richard asks, were you nervous when it came to your first game in your second spell at the club? And what was the feeling when you first scored?
I was not nervous because I was prepared. I was prepared. I had a full preseason with Inter. Then when I came in, I had enough time to prepare myself for the game, and my teammates, they helped me so much to make sure that I was good. So I was not prepared. I only never had that many cameras on me in my life.
I said you're a man in demand.
That was something I was doing when we do warm-ups. I always do the warm-ups with Mason or with Hakeem, and I was giving passes back and forth with Mason. And at one point, the cameraman got in my way.
No, really?
Like, oh my God. And
did you nutmeg him?
Nah. I would give him the step over next time. But it was funny. It was funny because, you know, I like in Italy, like there was no cameras on the pitch when you warm up.
Oh, right. Okay. I didn't know that.
They're on the side. So, you know,
Gotcha.
like when with me and Mason were giving passes, like the camera was just there around me all the time. When we were doing the stretches, the camera was there. When we run on the pitch, the camera was there. I was like, man, give man a break, man. What are you doing? But it was cool. It was cool. You know, we won. You know, I scored. And I went home with a good feeling. I was like, okay, well, on to the next one.
As did we all, Romelu. Next question is this is funny, actually, because this is something I know we spoke about when we first sat down when you signed for the club. This comes from Harsh Nagakar from the Pune Official Supporters Club over in India. And he asks about the comparison between your first spell at the club and the second spell, because as we talked about, Romelu, you were surrounded by so many experienced players, and now you've come back, and I guess you are a lot more experienced compared to some of the younger boys in this group.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird because, like, you know, like I was like when I was there, I was 18 years old. I didn't know anything about like everything was new to me. Like, but the good thing was at the time, I learned a lot from the work ethic from those boys, and you know, the guys that were there at that time, like they worked so hard to get where they are, and now it's like the same thing. The boys from now, they have the same mentality there as the boys from back then. So it's not really, I don't really have to basically like tell anybody. Like those guys are very mature players. Like they are really like on it all the time. So which is good for me because in the end, we have one goal and that's to win trophies. And, you know, if you see the guys, like they work behind the scenes, they work really hard. They're very, very talented, but they really work hard to get where they want to be. And, you know, for me, it's something that inspires me because if I see something like I'm a hard worker, but when you can inspire somebody to work hard as well, or somebody can inspire you, then it just like, it's like a chain, like it goes. Yeah. So that's the thing about the team. Like we are really like a bunch of players that work really hard and, you know, talented bunch of players as well, which is good.
It's a really interesting point because it feels like from the outside looking in, it feels like there's a good bond between you, but a good mix of youth and experience at the moment.
Yeah, that's what you need. You know, I think like I started in an era where there was like only like experienced players and maybe one youngster that was playing. That was like I'm from that era now. Like the football is transitioning where a lot of teams right now, they play with a lot of players that are in their early 20s, like from 21 to 24. Like I remember like when I was 18, when you were 28, you were not considered older player now. But now when you're 28, it's like, oh, well, like he's past his prime for some players. And that's something that football is changing. It's a lot of youth involved, which is good because, you know, it keeps you competitive, it keeps you hungry. And but I always believe that, you know, in a team, you always have to have a good mix of, you know, experienced players and very talented young players. And I think we have the perfect mix.
Certainly do. And thank you for making me feel so old for a minute.
What do I have to say now?
I'm kidding. Next question comes from Alvaro Vasquez from the Montevideo Official Supporters Club over in Uruguay. And Alvaro says, Romelu, how did it feel to score your first goal at Stamford Bridge after such a long time? And he says, be careful with those knee slides as well, because he was comparing you to a certain Didier Drogba.
I'm never sliding on my knees again. That's not
really?
Only if it's raining. Nah, I said it. I'm not gonna do it. So, it was. You know, it's something that I waited for like my whole life. You know, like I said, like, you know, I've been supporting the club since I was like 10, 11 years old. So, and I always had that goal in my mind to achieve something. And, you know, I think it's something that I want to tell young kids as well. Like, if you have something on your mind, you have to try and do everything that's possible to try and achieve it. For me, that was my goal. My goal was to play for Chelsea Football Club for the first team, and, you know, try and do well for the club. And, you know, once I scored my first goal, you know, I was like, it was a lot of emotions, but, you know, at the same time, I was like, yo, you have to win the game because guys are playing really well. But it was a great feeling. It was very, very great feeling. It's something that I waited for, like, you know, a lot of years. and to have done that is something. It's like a burden that's went off me, because obviously my first spell I didn't score for the club, so it was something that I had on my mind also for many years that it didn't happen. But like I said, like you have to keep working and keep believing in what you want to achieve in football. And obviously for me to have that second chance and then to make it happen, then it's even better than the first time, to be honest.
Fantastic. Very humble as well. Next question comes from Sanjay Bose from the Hyderabad Official Supporters Club over in India. He asked a question about something off the field. And I know it's something we've spoken about before. And he said, I've some information that you know 8 different languages. Now, which languages do you speak? And how has this helped you to connect with some of the players and staff at Chelsea?
7. So I speak
7.
Italian, I speak French, Dutch, English, Lingala, which is my native tongue from Congo, Spanish, Portuguese, and Italian.
Wow.
Yeah. 7, yeah.
That's incredible. Does it help you? Because I remember I read something recently with Jorginho about the importance of communicating on the training pitch. Does it help when you are so multilingual with your teammates?
Yeah. So basically, me and Jorginho and Thiago, we and Malang, for example, Malang Sarr, we all, if we are together in the same team, we speak Portuguese to each other.
Wow.
We all speak Portuguese. With Kovacic, I speak in Italian, or sometimes with Jorginho. It depends. Like, it depends who I'm with in what situation. But like, everybody feels comfortable because I can speak most of the time in their respective language. Like with the Spanish players, like Saul and Marcos Alonso and Kepa and stuff, we speak Spanish. If I'm with them, if I'm with Mason and Chile and Reese, like, it's English. So it depends who I'm with. So
you put us to shame.
Education, kids.
This is very, very true. I'm going to follow your lead. We've got time for a couple more before we let you go, Romelu. This one's just come in on the YouTube comments section. Jose from the Lima Blues has asked in the comments section about your preparation on game day and whether you have any superstitions.
So maybe one, I kiss my shin pads because it has like the picture of my mother, my brother, and my son.
Wow. So
that's it. That's the only thing. And then I have like a couple of playlists for music before the game, and that's that. I don't try and talk too much on the coach on the way to the stadium. I don't talk. And also in the dressing room, like I'm vocal, but sometimes like I'm quiet as well. It depends on my mood.
Absolutely. Last one comes from Jorrit Meyer from the Hague, the Dutch Blues. What subject did you like most when you were at school? And also, there's a question from Kelvin here on that, saying, have you always managed to cook for yourself during your time here in London?
So favorite subject in school, I think.
Was it a language?
I hated math.
Did you?
I hated math, but I didn't fail. Like, I was happy because I had 60%. I was like, yo, that's it. That's fine. I was good, obviously, in French, English.
Of course you were.
In public relations, I was good.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. That's why I have my degree in. So I was good in that, like marketing stuff and stuff like that. I was good in that.
So you're going to be set for life after your football career. You're going to have plenty of options.
Yeah, I think so, and that's something that's good because if I think about the day that I stop, I think I have many options that I can do. I can dive into whatever. So I can go into coaching if I want to. I can go into marketing and stuff like that. So that's why I say, like, the good thing about the Belgium youth system is you can still combine academy football full time and go at the same time. So I was fortunate to have that situation.
That's it. Fascinating stuff. We've got 30 seconds, so I'm going to finish on the football. Big game this weekend, Brentford, obviously. What are you expecting from that? How difficult game are you anticipating?
Tough. It's going to be very tough because Brentford is a team that can switch their system into a game like this. It's a team that, you know, knows the weaknesses of the opponents into the very last detail. So it's going to be tough. But, you know, like always, we're going to be prepared for no matter what. And, you know, it's going to be a battle. But, yeah, let's see on game day who's got the last laugh.
Fantastic. Well, I know you're a man in demand, so thank you so much indeed for your time. I know the supporters clubs all around the world have enjoyed hearing your insight, and I think I can speak for all of them when I say thank you and the very best of luck for the weekend. And to all of you that have taken the time to submit questions as well, we hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you so much for your input, and we look forward to welcoming you back to the next Supporters Club live show here on YouTube. For now, good luck for the weekend. Enjoy it wherever you were watching it, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you.